to be showing you how to use counters in your program block. So under basic instructions on the right, go to counter operations folder and use CTU, which is count up. You drag that over, and again, like the timer, it's going to ask you to define a data block. Leave it on automatic and just click OK. For counters, you have three things you want to look at. There's the CU branch. When this gets power, your counter is going to count up once. It's not going to count up every time. It's going to count up every time there is a positive edge on the signal, which means if you leave this on, it's just going to count it as one count. If you turn it on, turn it off, and then turn it on again, that's two counts. If you want to reset what count your counter is on, you send power to the R, and your counter is only going to let power flow through on the Q branch on the right side once it reaches a preset value, which you define right here. In our case, we'll set it as 3. Now let's add switch 1 as our count up switch, and switch 2 as our reset switch. And on the right hand side, we'll use LED 2. Download this to the device. And bring up your simulation. So when I click on switch 1, 0.0, you're going to notice the counter go up by 1. Right now the current count is in this gray box, which is 0. So I click it once, it goes up to 1. Notice that it stays on 1, it doesn't keep counting up. You have to turn off the switch 1 and turn it back on to get to 2. Off and on again to get to 3. It reaches your preset value, and so it lets the power through on the output coil, which turns on your LED. Now you can keep counting up, but because it's reached 3, it's not going to make any difference. The output is going to stay on. So the way to turn it off is to reset the count back to 0, which in this case is through switch 2 at I0.1. Click on that, and your output turns off.